We're going to do section 7.4 today, which is solving linear system by multiplying first. We're still doing linear combination. We're still doing the elimination method. But we have to do some multiplication in order to make everything work for ourselves. So the deal is today you're going to have to multiply one of the equations by a number so that either x or y are opposites of each other, and then you can add the two equations together. I might put a caveat on this. You're going to have to multiply one of the equations, and I could write up here, or both. Okay, so it's possible you might have to multiply both by some numbers so that the x or the y are opposites of each other. Here I have a system, 3x minus 3y equals 21, and 8x plus 6y equals negative 14. I have the question, what could you multiply by so that you can eliminate a variable when you add the two equations together? Which equation could you multiply by what number so that then you could eliminate a variable along the way? Andy?
Top 1 by 2.
The top 1 by 2. Awesome idea. So, let's see. This was just in case they didn't get the hint when I had a substitute teacher. Okay, let's multiply the top 1 by 2. And when you do that, you're going to have your 6x minus 6y equals 42. That's the arrow there. You've got to multiply it, the entire equation. Just like the other day when we were multiplying through by a negative, everything got multiplied. Everything has to be multiplied by 2. And Andy had told us that. So 6x minus 6y equals 42. Now go ahead and add the two equations together. Okay, because you will no longer be looking at that top equation. You'll just be looking at the bottom two equations. Add them together and do what we did the other day. As we were looking at this, you should have 14x equals 28, thus x equals the 2. What are you going to do with that x equals 2 then? What's that next step that you're going to do with that x equals 2? What do you say, Catherine? Put it back into one of the two equations, right? In fact, you could put it back into one of the three equations. You could either go back into one of the two original, or you can go back into your changed equation. All my railroad tracks up there telling you where you could go. What do you guys come up with for y when you put 2 back in? What'd you get, Andy?
Negative 5.
-5, and that is what you should get. I think I put it back into the original one prior to be changing up there. So we got 2 -5 for an answer. Any problems there so far? Nothing at all? Good to see. All right, now you and your partner get to do one. Would you please work on this problem? Multiply where you need to. Up here on the board, we have people on the whiteboard as well as the smart board. Everybody got -2, -5 as their xy pair. And as I was looking at work, as they were working along here, things look very good for their linear combination. Any questions so far? Okay. You guys like linear combination?
Yeah.
Better than substitution? Better than graphing? Oh, yeah. All right. Let's go on here a little bit. Let's see. I showed my work here and coming back up with it. We'll go on to the next one. What if the terms are not lined up? What if the terms are not lined up? What do you have to do? Catherine?
Move the equation around so they are lined up.
Move the equation around so that they are lined up. What should we do to these two equations? Should we do anything to the top one, or should we do something to the bottom one? Why do you suggest the top one, Andy?
Well, because these two just add the 2x to the other side instead of moving 3y over and then moving 17 over.
Okay, a lot less moving. So let's move this -2x, this -2x here over to the other side so that we'll have what kind of a 2x? Positive. So positive 2x plus our 3y equals 17. Please remember, you need to have your x's lined up, your y's lined up, your equal signs lined up, and your constants lined up. I think that's what I have them So we have to line them up, do it now please, and you should have your 2x plus 3y equals 17. Now you're going to need to multiply both equations by numbers this time around. Both equations. I've got several options up here. I'm going to put them all up in front of you. You could multiply the two equations, one by -2, one by 3. Or you can multiply by 2, -3. You could multiply by -3 and 5, or 3 and -5. There are 4 different ways you could multiply here. Now, you can feel free to do whichever one you want. In the end, my answers are going to be this top one, -2, 3. I know that already about my answers. But if you want to try one of the others and see if you can come up with the same answer I do, that's fabulous. Go forth and conquer. Talk to your neighbor. We'll get some people up to the board here in just a second. Everybody got 4,3. All right, wonderful. Process is done correctly on the smartboard as well as now on the whiteboards. Any questions in regards to that? Or let's see here, when the terms are not lined up. Got that already. Where did we? There. There was my railroad tracks to get to it for when I had my substitute. So, any problems with that at all? Let's look at, let's see, do we need to do another one in moving? No, you guys are set on that. I'm just going to glance through this so that if somebody's looking at this, they could do each one of those. And then we come out with our answer down there. It's time for our quiz then, if there are no questions. Now, the assignment that I have up here was from a year ago when I wasn't here. You guys already did this stuff, so we're not worried about that. I'm going to go ahead and allow you to change the 7.4C worksheet to include what I have up here. You can take off a few problems on the 7.4C worksheet. And then I have a joke sheet for you too today. I believe your calendar says PA 8.5. Is that what it says? Or 9.5? 8.5. I have that joke sheet for you, and it's inequality. It's not inequalities. It's systems. But obviously, show your work on it, and you can pick that up when you're done with your quiz for me. So you're going to need a calculator, a straight edge, and a pencil for your quiz. And so please get that stuff together.